Hello everyone. So today I come with another video, and this video will be talking about heterotrophic mode of nutrition. What is heterotrophic mode of nutrition? Then what are the types of holozoic nutrition? Then holozoic organisms on the basis of their food, how they are classified. Then we'll be studying about the steps of the heterotrophic mode of nutrition or other steps of the holozoic nutrition, and then we'll be studying about heterotrophic mode of nutrition or holozoic mode of nutrition in amoeba. Okay, so these will be the topic which we are going to cover in this video. So heterotrophic mode of nutrition. First of all, we must know what is meant by heterotrophic. The word hetero means others, and troph means nutrition. That is, all those organs which derive their nutrition from other organisms. That is, they cannot prepare food on their own, but they depend on other organisms for their food requirement. So they are called heterotrophs. Okay. Now one must understand that food and the nutrition are two different things. Food is any substance that we eat, and nutrients are those classification or the categories of the components of the food that we get from food. Okay, and the nutrition is a process in which we get nutrients from food. Now food may have some nutrients, may not have many nutrients. It may be consisted of only one nutrient. Say for example, when we are drinking water, and if the water is from RO, it may not even have minerals. Okay, if you are having glucose, so it is only glucose, sugar you are getting, no other substance you are getting. Okay, so you may get multiple nutrients or you may get one. Okay, now food that you are eating is only a source of nutrients. Okay, and secondly, you must remember that is food we eat, but the nutrients are actually required by our cells. Okay, if you remember, when we defined life processes, we said life processes is the process which are continuously going on non-stop. It even don't stop for a minute or a second. We are not taking food all the time, but our cells are getting nutrients all the time. So once we digest food, the nutrients will come in the body, it will come into the bloodstream, it will go into the liver, it will go and store in the different part, and from there it will be coming into the blood, and from blood it is going to each and every cell. So all the cells are continuously getting nutrients. And since all the cells are continually getting nutrients, so it is considered as life process without which we cannot survive. Okay. Now the heterotrophic nutrition is of three types. Heterotrophic nutrition can be divisible into three types. One is holozoic nutrition, where the food is taken in the form of solid. Food is taken in the form of solids, and means solid is not necessarily they are solid, but they're taken as a whole and being digested inside the body. So when the food is being digested inside the body, that is all the enzyme activity, whatever thing is required, that will be taking place inside the body. So then it is called holozoic. The word holo comes from whole, that is the taking the food as a whole into the body, and digestion will take place inside the body. Second is saprozoic. Now saprozoic is not taking the food inside, rather they do not have any system to take the food inside. The body may be made up of one cell or a few cells where there is no differentiation. In that case, they are digesting their food outside in the environment. They are called saprozoic. And the third is parasites. The parasitic mode of nutrition is the one in which the host body, the parasites are deriving their nutrition from the host. Let us study them one by one. Holozoic nutrition is the one in which the organisms take food into their body and digest it inside. They are taking the food inside, like we are taking the food inside, and we are digesting it inside. That type of nutrition is called holozoic. Whereas the saprozoic nutrition, in that which the food is digested outside, food is digested outside their body, and then digested nutrients are absorbed by them. Okay, and the third one is the parasites. The parasites are getting directly from their host. They are getting their nutrients directly. They may not even require to digest their food. They may be taking pre-digested or pre-digested nutrients. Okay, depending on the kind of food that they eat, the organisms are classified into following three types. It is in a holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition, what type of food they are eating. Suppose they are taking only herbs, only plant products, are those which get their nutrition only from the plant product. They are called herbivores. The herbivores examples like rabbits are there, cows are there, buffaloes there, donkeys there, horses are there. They're getting only their food from plants. Okay, carnivores are those which get their food, carnivores which get their nutrition only from animal products. Okay, there are certain animals which are only eating other animals. They don't require any plant products. So those type of animals are called carnivore. You cannot call any human as a carnivore. They are mainly eating plant products, but they are taking this. So we cannot call human as a carnivore. This is only lion, tiger, panther, leopard, etc. They are eating only an animal and animal product. And the third is omnivores. Omnivores are those which get their food from the plants as well as from animals. So examples are there, rabbit and cow there, lion and tiger here, and in this case, human is there, dogs are there, bears are there, and all. So we are omnivore. We get our food from the plant as well as from animals. Okay. Saprobes are those organisms which digest their food outside their body, like bacteria and fungi. They don't have any digestive system or a food vacuole or any such things in their body, so they have to digest their food outside. Now remember, when the food is digested outside, then what happens? The decomposition takes place. Okay, so they feed on the dead organic matter and digest their food by secreting digestive enzymes on them. Okay, so they will be like a bacteria is there. Suppose this is a man, someone's hand is there, or some bacteria comes here. So the bacteria will be pouring their digestive enzymes here, and the food is digested. And once the food is digested, nutrients are digested, they will be absorbed by this bacteria. Okay, so this is the process where the digestion is taking place outside. And when the digestion takes place, there are several gases produced, and there are some rotten smell comes, as well as some of the leftover materials are there. What is written? Saprobes are those organisms which digest their food outside the body. They feed the dead organic matter that we also already did. And when during this course of food digestion, resulting foul smell. When the digestion is taking place outside the body, it results foul smell, and the remains returns back to the environment like air, water, or soil, and that is why it is called recycling. So they are the recyclers of the environment. In fact, if we say the saprobes are working just antagonistic or just opposite to the process of photosynthesis, where the photosynthesis or autotrophic mode of nutrition, they are combining the various type of components are making it into organic. Saprobic are breaking this organic compound and returning carbon dioxide back to environment, hydrogen sulfide, ammonia, methane, and then some of the in the undigested substances which are not digestible by them, they are returned back to the soil. So saprobes are working just against to the photosynthesis, and they are very important. Imagine a world where there is no saprobes. Then what would have happened? We would have not seen this earth at all. You would have not required to study at all. Okay, actually whatever substances have been used over the years, okay, earth has come so many billions of years ago. Human and other animals are from so many thousands and millions of years. There are animals which are from millions of years. There are organisms which are from thousands of years. They are continually using organic matter, and they are continually retaining that. Had they been not decomposed today we would have not left with any of the material for our survival. All the oxygen would have, all the oxygen would have consumed, all the carbon dioxide would have, the oxygen would have changed into carbon dioxide into methane, methane into glucose, or glucose into some other substances, and everything would have been locked forever. It is these saprobes which are breaking them and returning them back to the environment. So their role in recycling is enormous. And we cannot imagine a world where there is no decomposers, because our survival, our very survival would have come into problem. Third type of holozoic nutrition, third type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition is parasite. We are studying about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition right now. Heterotrophs are classified into three types, as we already done: holozoic, saprozoic, and parasite. Holozoic we will study in detail in this video. The saprozoic we are done just now. Parasite. Parasite are those organisms which want to do nothing for their own. Okay, they want to obtain their nutrients from the other organisms, and those other organisms from which they obtain their food are called host. The organs from which they obtain their food are called host, and they are guest in fact. Okay, so the parasites are the guest, and guest, they do not to do anything. Host is arranging everything for them. जब हम शादी में जाते हैं, बर्थडे पार्टी में जाते हैं, किसी और जगह जाते हैं, तो हम थोड़ी कुछ करते हैं। हम तो बस एक गिफ्ट लेकर के जाएंगे, हाथ बांध के खड़े हो जाएंगे, सब लाओ लगाओ खाना, हम बैठ जाएंगे. So the same is the true with parasite, but I'll tell you that their life is not so easy. Okay, so parasites can be divided into two on the basis of their location on the body of host. If they are on the body of host, if they are living on the body of host outside, then they are called ectoparasites. Like ticks are there, mites are there, leeches are there, bedbug are there. Okay, there are a number of organisms which are feeding on our body. The lice is there on the head. Okay, they are now, they may be of two types, that is the continuous parasite and discontinuous. Discontinuous come only for a short while and they go away. Like if you go to watch a movie in the picture hall and there are the ticks, there are bed bugs are there, they will just suck your blood. You are there for only for a certain time, and they will suck your blood and they'll go away. Okay, or there are there are ectoparasites which are continuously sticking to the body, like ticks are there, like leeches are there, so they will be continuously there. Mosquitoes, sorry, we will not consider mosquito as a parasite, because mosquito is not feeding on our body just for their survival. It is only for their reproduction, for for growth of their zygote and their embryo. They require our rbcs, so this is not their feeding. So mosquitoes cannot be considered into this category. However, bedbug will be considered, leeches will be considered, ticks will be considered, mites will be considered. Okay, the next is the endoparasites, those which lives inside the body of host. Now, both, whether they have to live inside or whether they have to live outside, they have to develop number of things. Okay, if they have to मतलब get their food from outside, हमारे body पे ऊपर चिपकना, leech है तो they have to get a method to stick to the body. Ticks and mites, they had to stick. You might have seen in the ears and the other places of the dogs, there are ticks and mites. No? So similarly, the those organisms which are living inside the body, like ascaris is there, tapeworm is there, malarial parasites are there, they are continuously exposed to the various type of harsh conditions inside the body. If they are in the digestive system, ascaris and tapeworm, all our enzymes or hydrochloric acid or bile juice, all other things are continuously secreted on them. Yet they have to survive, and then they have to release their eggs outside so that they can enter into the some other body. Okay, so that is a very complicated system. It's not that, as I said, the parasites are having mauj ki zindagi. No, they have a very tough life. They have to continuously face those type of adverse conditions which are imposed by our body. Body is secreting enzymes, body is secreting various type of digestive juices, where body is secreting hydrochloric acid. So they have to face all those things. Okay, so this is all about the three modes of nutrition of heterotrophic. Now we are talking about holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition completes in 4 steps. Holozoic nutrition itself complete. Holozoic is what? Where the food is taken as a whole into the body and they have to be digested. So now it is completed into four steps. Now we'll talk about them. Uh, Before that, we'll talk about the symbiotic mode of symbiosis is a type of interaction between the members of two different species for the mutual benefit of each other. Remember, when we're talking about the interaction, we had to consider a word that is between the members of two different species. Human and human will always have interaction. Birds and birds will always have interaction, but that will not be called symbiosis. Symbiosis involve the members of two different species. And second thing, for mutual benefit of each other, both are getting benefited. Like it is an interaction between rhizobium bacteria and the root nodules of the legumes. The rhizobium bacteria is fixing atmospheric nitrogen and passing it to the roots of the legumes, and legumes in turns are giving them food and place to live. So it is a give and take relation where both of them are getting benefited. Okay, so holistic nutrition, which completes in 4 steps. First is ingestion of food. What is ingestion of food? Ingestion is simply taking in the food. Food is taken into the body. Because we have studied the digestion take place inside the body, nutrients are obtained inside the body. So first the food is to be taken in. The food can be taken from mouth, it can be sucked like a butterfly is just sucking the nectar from the flower, or the ticks and mites they are sucking blood. डाइजेशन तो अंदर ही कर रहे हैं ना, तभी तो हमने हिट्रोट्रोपिक में बोला उनको. ठीक है, so that is how they are doing it. And the second is digestion. Now the word digestion, digestion is breaking the complex food into simple substances, okay, basic particles of nutrients, okay, like proteins. The proteins will be broken down into amino acids. The fats will be broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. And the proteins where carbohydrates will be broken down into carbohydrates, into sugars. So our body actually requires these. Our body doesn't require fat. आप घी लगा रहे हो पराठे में, बॉडी को पराठे से क्या मतलब है, घी से क्या मतलब है, बॉडी को गन्ने के रस से क्या मतलब है, बॉडी को पिज्जा से क्या मतलब है, बॉडी को जो भी चीज आप खा रहे हो उससे क्या मतलब. बॉडी नीड दीज थिंग्स. ठीक है, and these things are the things which a body can recombine to give the shape of required thing. So suppose I am eating egg, suppose I am drinking milk, suppose I am eating any other food, say for example chapatis. So chapati has some carbohydrate in the form of starch, some protein. Okay, so this starch has to be broken down into glucose or sugars, and the proteins have to be broken down into amino acid. Suppose I put paratha is ghee also, so the fatty acid will be broken down into fat cells will be broken down into fatty acid and glycerol. So until unless they are broken down in this, they cannot pass through the membrane. So they will remain outside in the alimentary canal only. They will not come into the body. And even if they enter in the body, they will not be able to enter into the cell. So it is very necessary that they have to be broken down into the basic molecule. And secondly, what is the second importance is that the proteins which we are getting from some source, or the carbohydrate which we are getting from some source, or the fats which we are getting from some source, are entirely different from the protein, carbohydrate and fat which we require in our body. We require only sugar for the energy purpose, so no other carbohydrate we require. Okay, some basic carbohydrate like our ribose, deoxyribose for making DNA, RNA, and some other which are used in making the glycoprotein and all. Otherwise, we don't require too much of carbohydrate, but the carbohydrate is the major part because it is providing energy. Then fats, the fat which we are obtaining from other animals like ghee, Now, what is the use of ghee in our body? So we require fat for some purpose, like for the skin. Oils here are required for hormones. We require for this what do you call emergency um, food. We require fat stored. Okay, so our fat is different from what food fat we get from animals and plants, and the protein which we are getting. Say for example, you ate mutton. Now mutton, the peas have different type of protein which you may not require. So the peas will be broken down into amino acid, and these amino acid will be combined to make the type of protein which you require in fact. Okay, so digestion okay. Next is absorption. Now digested nutrients are still in the digestive canal. They are not come into the cell. So digested nutrients have to be taken into the cell or into the blood plasma. That will be done by a process called absorption, and absorption is actually done by diffusion. Okay, now diffusion can be two types, that is active and passive. Active diffusion will be the ATP is spent and taken the nutrient in, and passive will be simply without any energy spending. Absorption, and the next word is assimilation, that is the utilization of these nutrients. So whatever nutrients we have taken into the body, that will not be simply kept somewhere, but it will be used. So using of the nutrients is called assimilation. It may be stored even. Okay, so consumption is actually assimilation. The last word is egestion. That is, there are several products which are not digested. They have to be thrown out of the body. If we not throw, the our body will keep on becoming bulky. So you all know it is okay. So removal is called egestion. Now remember, the egestion is not considered as excretion. Excretion is different. Egestion is different. Excretion is metabolic waste. Egestion is digestive waste. Okay, so these are two different type of things. Okay, nutrition and amoeba. I already made a elaborated video on nutrition and amoeba. Anyway, we'll still study it. Amoeba is a unicellular aquatic organism, and its food is generally a unicellular organ of the other organs and all. Okay, and ingestion of food. How amoeba take the food? The food it is taking with the help of pseudopodia, so it will surround. Suppose this is the food, so it will surround the pseudopodia and take it inside the food vacuole. So this is called ingestion. Okay, so like this is the food and this is the amoeba here. Amoeba is made as pseudopodia, surrounded the food. Now both the pseudopodia join together and a food vacuole is formed, and the food is in the food vacuole. So these four steps are actually ingestion. Now the food vacuole will be surrounded by the lysosomes. So this is digestion. So for digestion, amoeba what it does, it doesn't have muscles. Amoeba doesn't have muscles. So it will have no mechanical digestion. It will have only chemical digestion. The lysosomes will be there. Suppose here are the lysosomes. So these lysosomes will pour their digestive enzymes on it, and the digestion will take place inside the food vacuole. And after the digestion, the nutrients will diffuse into the cytoplasm, that is absorption. So their digestion is, पहली बात तो their digestion is inside the cell, that is intracellular digestion, and secondly their digestion is done by the chemicals, so it is chemical digestion. Next is absorption. Absorption is simply by diffusion, and assimilation, wherever whatever is done, like glucose is there, it will be converted into glycogen and it will be used in for respiration. Fats are there, they will be joined together with protein and make membranes and other substances as in whole, whatever type of things are required. So these will be taken to the mitochondria, ribosomes, vacuoles, etc. and all. And egestion is the process of removal of the undigested substance. So what amoeba does, the undigested substance will come onto the surface, join with the membrane, and they will rupture and they will throw the waste out. So this is a very simple method, that is called taking in is called endophagocytosis, throwing out is called exophagocytosis. If it is liquid, it will be called pinocytosis. So that's all. The digestion is amoeba. Digestion in amoeba we are done. Or nutrition in amoeba we are done. Holozoic nutrition, because the food is taken into the body and digested inside the body. But remember, amoeba doesn't have alimentary canal. It is digesting its food in the food vacuole. Since the food is digested inside the cell, it is called intracellular digestion. Digestion is done by only by enzymes, so it is called chemical digestion. Absorption is by diffusion. Assimilation utilization of this thing, and this is how the nutrition is done in amoeba. So that's all in this video. Next video we'll talk about nutrition in human being, and then other videos as and when I'll inform you. That's all. Do like and share the video, and subscribe my channel if you are new, and I'll keep on making videos of the different classes, not only in bio but in other subjects also. So keep watching. Thank you.